Good morning. I asked Spirit, what is the main cause for people not aligning with their highest good, for the planet not getting anywhere near its highest good? And I heard surrender to grace. And I thought, well, what is surrender? Do I need to do it? Why? Who am I surrendering to? And what am I surrendering? Anyways, I've answered some of these questions. So, our thought for the day is there is no reason to struggle. Once we let go, surrender to the universal flow of life, life with a capital L will take over and handle the details. Yay! Well, we have some work to do first. Surrender is a positive, intuitive way of living, a sweet and relaxing frequency of trust. We don't need to get God to do anything for us anymore because we allow God to operate through us. When we surrender, we allow the universe to work its magic. We say yes to infinite possibilities. We release our anxieties and expectations over things we're supposed to do, but we're not, over money that's not enough, over spouses and partners and children and parents that are not doing things the way we want them to. We let go of our resistance to life. So, why don't we surrender? We may be locked into some old myths about surrender. And here are 5 myths that I've identified. Myth number 1, surrender is only for when a crisis hits. You wait to get so depressed, your back's against the wall, you're in a dark night of the soul, and you finally have no other choice, but you have to surrender, crying usually. This used to be my way, and it doesn't have to be yours. Once I hadn't slept for 3 days and 3 nights and was approaching psychosis from lack of sleep, and I knew I had to release something, but I didn't know what. All week, everywhere I went in conversations, I'm in the store and I hear surrender and let go. And then I'm in the bank line, I hear, it just says surrender and let God. And it's like the universe is trying to give me a message. And then your best friend says, you try to tell her how much pain you're in. And it's like, oh, you'll feel better, honey, when you just surrender and let go. And it's like, if I knew how to surrender, I would. Myth number 2. Surrender is a sign of defeat or weakness, like giving up, waving the white flag, admitting failure. But it's not giving up or giving in, but giving over. Aligning with true strength and power, which is not of the ego, but from spirit. Myth number 3. Surrender means saying yes to everything. That's inaccurate and not very wise. Don't be a pushover or allow yourself to be taken advantage of. You take back control of your life when you listen to your intuition while in a surrendered position, and you learn when to participate and when to walk away. Remember, no is a complete sentence. Myth number 4, the big myth of most New Thought people like myself. If I surrender, I can't manifest my goals. I must put in effort, try harder, bang my head against the wall and hope it falls down. That's why the last point in many traditions, meditations is to release and to trust in science of mind. That's the final thing. We just need to practice it. And always remember, if manifestations on your shopping list of desires and goals to the universe, if they don't happen, maybe they weren't supposed to be. Maybe it's a good thing you didn't get what you wanted, like the house I wanted. I even had money one time to buy it, and someone else got it. I was so sad. But it turns out there was all this structural damage hidden. So I was very grateful I didn't get that. The arts of manifesting and mastery involve both effort and surrender. And most of us are way better at intending and affirming than we are at letting go. Yet ask any artist, poet, musician, all inspiration comes in the state of receiving. Myth number 5. Being in perfect control is a virtue, illustrating mastery of the human condition. Men are told from infancy almost, don't cry. You're not a real man if you're not in control. We often chastise ourselves for messing up, probably every day, for not exhibiting perfect calm or saying the right thing at the right time. We forget all great teachers only attain mastery after many, many years and lifetimes. Messing up is expected of us until we attain that level. It's how we learn our lessons, by screwing up. There are 4 types of surrender, and we need all 4. Intellectual surrender. Your mind needs to understand the benefits of letting go so that it doesn't fight you. Give it some good reasons, such as, you'll feel relieved when you stop obsessing about that man. Or, if you keep pressuring your boss about that promotion, he'll resent it. You want your intellect on your side. And David R. Hawkins has a great video on YouTube, how you can trick the ego into surrendering. The first 3 minutes of that, good tips. So the second type of surrender is physical, sensual surrender. And this instills wonder and tranquility. Just take a deep breath or two while you're listening here. Breathing is actually very sensuous. Inhaling, expanding, expelling. Stretching, yoga, walking, expels tension and loosens you up. Push away from your computer. Stand up and dance. What saves me is I walk daily in nature. It has a primal sensuality. And when you talk to the trees, you're talking to spirit. So gaze at the moon, watch sunrise, watch sunset, sit by a beautiful body of water. Let go of being the experiencer of the field. Become the field before experience. So the third type of surrender is emotional surrender. Emotions are basically energy passing through you, yet we get pretty attached to them. So you can do this at home later. It came from the Buddha, and somatic therapists use it also. You allow yourself to identify an emotion that's been troubling you. Fear, worry, sadness, anger. Pick one and feel that emotion. Observe it. Where is it in your body? Instead of tightening up around it and constricting or trying to flee from it or bury it and shove it, embrace it. Don't think about the feeling or what caused it. Don't try to get rid of it. Don't do anything about it or judge it or yourself. Keep your awareness on the emotion and it will subside. I practiced this all week just to make sure because I hadn't in a while, and it works. So embrace it, the emotion, let go of thoughts about it, feel the sensation in your body, keep your awareness on it, and it dissolves. The secret is awareness turns everything into itself. The most difficult surrender is spiritual surrender. It involves opening up to a compassionate force. It can be God, Goddess, life, nature, love, source, divine spirit, or something nameless. Through this cultivated connection, you begin to trust that something beautiful exists beyond this mundane world. You realize you're not alone. You invite this presence to live in you. Knowing of its existence, you become more comfortable with uncertainty, with change. You make friends with the unknown, which makes letting go easier. And if you've not gotten on your knees in a while, and if you're able to get back up, you might try it and see how you feel in the hours afterwards. The final topic I want to mention are the 3 stages of surrender. So this week, if you pick something you want to work on or release or an emotion, you'll kind of know where you are. These stages are resistance, acceptance, and letting go. Resistance. If you're not happy right now about something in your life, relationship, job, whatever it is, if your perspective and your feelings are like, I'm not happy, you are in some kind of resistance because it is what it is. There's even a Sufi mantra. This is how it is right now. This is how it is right now. This is how it is right now. If you decide to start the journey of lightening up by letting go, you will encounter resistance. Fears will rise. It's natural to be expected. You might feel vulnerable, like you're losing control or the upper hand, but don't be put off and discouraged by this aspect of yourself. Initially, a part of you does not want to let go. It's definitely not on the top of your ego's bucket list of things to do. Notice the resistance throughout the day in your negative self-talk. And notice in your body throughout the day. Is there a tightness somewhere in your stomach? Or are you holding your breath? That's my tendency. Resistance is a way shower, a signal to stop pushing, do something different. Stage 2 is acceptance. First, accept your resistance and nurture yourself. This will immediately dissolve the edges of your problems. Become practical and use common sense to see the situation clearly. For instance, you realize my behavior isn't working, so I'm willing to try something new. Or I've done as much as I can for now. Pushing isn't helping. It's better to back off. Stage 3, letting go. This may be a partial or full letting go. You don't have to feel completely ready. A little willingness is enough. Let go of a fear or counterproductive reaction just for a minute, an hour, or a day. Surrender is a process. It doesn't happen with one try or even one lifetime. So it's a journey and we're on it together. In conclusion, Gandhi said, be willing to surrender what you are for what you could become. Surrender is the path of awakening to our wholeness. Liberation from our troublesome, limited self. Our connection to divinity. We have the entire universe on our team. And so it is. Thank you.